All right, all right, all right. All right, this is Behind the Shot, Behind the Sound Monday. I come here, I talk about what I'm doing this week with my crazy hair, and we do it kind of calm, kind of relaxing with my deep voice. I am Optimus Prime. But anyways, this week, I am going out to the Bay Area. Actually, I will take off tomorrow morning. I will head to Bakersfield. I will be in Bakersfield for about 3 or 4 hours. I'll take off from Bakersfield and head over to Monterey. I'll be in Monterey overnight. I plan on doing a coffee with me in Monterey early in the morning on Wednesday. That's what I plan on doing. But you know how plans go. I'm going to do a coffee with me down on the peninsula while I'm getting some wave sounds, some morning sounds, hopefully some pier sounds. One of those times I'm going to kick in there and do a video of me out there drinking some coffee. All right. Then from there, I'll be there Wednesday. Thursday, I'll be in Oakland. I'm going to drop by a couple of my favorite coffee shops during this trip. Not on that day. Well, I really could. But I plan on dropping by a couple of coffee shops. Now, what I will use on this trip is my Zoom H2N Essential. I will use my Zoom H1 XLR. I will just take a very small camera with me, a Lumix GX8 with a Leica, what is that? 35 to 60 f2.8 lens, tack sharp lens. But you'll see I'm only going to use a macro four thirds lens. Sensor, not lens, camera. To show you that, and I'll put some of that footage in a video to show you that you don't need a whole ton of equipment. It's called gas. You don't need to get gas. Gear acquisition syndrome. See, these gurus, these guys will come out and go, hey, you know what? You can go out and record sounds and do ambient sound videos and make $1 million. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. They're making money off of getting you to buy their plan. That's how that works. So anyways, you don't need a lot of lights if you want to create. You don't need a huge camera. You need the camera that works. Now, I am a professional photographer. Professional. I had a question asked me one time, hey, what camera do you mostly use? I said, all the time? They go, yeah, all the time. Showed them my iPhone. You know why? Because I always use that. Taking pictures of family, kids, it's always with me. Always using the iPhone. So, even with the iPhone, I'm going to try to pull off a walk with me video using the iPhone. And hopefully I'll get some quality walking down the pier video with some good, and I'll get good sound, and yes, of course, I'll get good quality. Okay quality, but with an iPhone. Because everybody's got an iPhone. Well, everybody's got a phone, not an iPhone. The little project my buddy is doing, there's a couple, he's doing an independent film. You guys remember from way back. And he had a baby and we had to put it off. I'm going to be going, I'll be in a water plant in Oakland to get some eerie sounds, and I'll be there late at night, and I'll get some eerie, squeaky. So if you're into that, I might use some of that for ambient sounds. You'll check it out. I put some couple hours worth of sounds up on the 24-hour live stream. Some mic brushing, binaural. What else? Put some. Oh, I love those plastic bottles. I put about an hour of those on there, and an hour of the mic brushing. So go check that out. If you need to get some sleep, really good to put in the bag. Now, I'm going to be pulling sounds from, there's my dude, just like clockwork. I'm going to be pulling sounds from, water sounds from the peninsula. And I waited till 10 to do this. But anyways, I'm going to be getting some water sounds from the peninsula. I'm going to get some walking down the pier sounds, the Walk With Me video. That'll be great. I'm going to get a couple coffee shop ambient sounds. I really dig those, and I think they're good for concentration and stuff. And maybe I'll pop up in a couple of those, but I'll talk to you through the microphone. And I'll be using that little Insta360 Go 3S for the coffee shops because nobody can see it. It's nice and small. Nobody freaks out. I'm going to be using the Walk With Me. I'm going to be actually using my phone and a gimbal. And if I can, I'm going to walk with me on the peninsula using my Insta360 4X, the 360 camera. What's really nice about those, especially for getting shots for stuff for stock video to sell on stock agencies, that Insta360, I have the 4X, the X4, whatever it is. There's an X5. There's not that much of a jump for me to go buy the X5. The X5 does a little bit better in low light. I don't know. I got my 1RS1 1-inch sensor. It does really well in low light. But what's really nice about using that for just a B-roll stuff, and it's a trick, it's sneaky, is that it records all the way around. So if I put it where waves are crashing, it gives me 3 or 4 different shots, different angles of waves. You see what I'm saying? So for one session, I can get 3 or 4. If you were going to do a ambient sound channel, like waves crashing, stuff like that, I would use a Insta360. Here's why. You could put that in a tripod on the beach, put some nice mics out there, record the sound separately, because when it comes to sleep and relaxing crap stuff, sleep and relaxing sounds, and studying sounds, it's more about the sound, not the video really. But if you, okay, at the peninsula, we're going to do an experiment. You and I, we're going to do an experiment. I'm going to go get some wave sounds. There's 3 different coves there. And I'm going to go and plant my 360 with some good mics there. And look at it like this. If I did an hour at each cove, an hour at this cove, went over and set up another one, did another hour at that cove, went over and did another one, did another hour at that cove, then maybe came back and got one at nighttime, going into the dark. That would be comfortably 3 different videos. 3 different videos. The one in the front, the X4, I get 4K shots. Not exactly 4K, but I post everything 1080p, so it's easier on you, it's easier on me. But think about this. That's an hour video facing the front. That's an hour video facing over here. That's an hour video facing over here. You just took 3 hours of videos for 1 hour. 3 hours of video, 1 hour. You go to the next cove, set it up, get the same thing. 3 more hours of video for 1 hour. You just take 6 hours of video in 2 hours. Can't even count on my fingers anymore. In 2 hours. 3 hours of video. Go to the next one, do it again. 3 more hours of video. That's 9 hours of video in 3 hours. Now, if you're running a 24-hour like I am, or maybe you stream long time, you can loop that 1 hour. And you think about that. That's 9 videos in 1 day. That's 9 hours of video. What if you did that 4 times a month? It's 4 times 9. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's a lot of video. Now also, if you were making video here, you could plant a 360 camera right here. And like, again, we're going to do an experiment. You would have this view. You'd have a different view that's a little off. A different view the other way. Check it out. That'd be like having 3 different cameras in here with 1 camera. I used the 360 camera for VR work. At my day job, and this is another thing that I do a lot of work for Studio L7, I make these virtual training videos. And they're not really videos. But But we'll take a system that's having a problem. We'll make it have a problem. And then I'll take pictures of it. These 360 pictures of how. So it'd be just like you drive up, you get out of your truck. You can look around. You walk up to the system. You look around. Click on it. You open the doors. And there's different troubleshooting procedures we do. Different troubleshooting procedures we do for them to follow. Now, when I first did this, the proof of concept, I did it with a 360 camera, 360 photos, and a Google document, because you can make a test in it. So we would give them a scenario. They got to go in the virtual, and they can do it with their phone. Just hold it up. Check all the systems we need them to. They check them off. Write down what they say. Write in what the problem is. And they'll pass or not. That lets them out of the I call it a video. It lets them out of the module. Proof of concept, I just threw that together with a 360 camera, Google Docs, and prayed. Now my company's seen that and they go, hey, what do we need to do to make that real? I went and found out what we need to do, and it turned into something. Now, that's probably the only time I use that as a 360 camera. The only time. I use that as a regular camera. When we're doing training videos, and even though I shoot with a GH5, sometimes I can just get a B-roll shot by dropping that down and get a picture of their hands working on it, where I can't get that camera in there. That's why I have that camera. It's good for getting some high shots of stuff, a different perspective. You can do a kind of like a fake little drone shots. My company works a lot in oil fields and refineries. I can't have a drone in there, but I can have that 360 camera, and it works. It kind of works for what I need, like a drone. So that's another little secret. The little Insta360 Go 3S. That's just a little bitty camera. It's as big as my thumb. I can only get about 20 to 25 minutes of 4K video. I say 20 to 25 because I rarely need 20 to 25 minutes of video. I'm shooting it on this. But if in the training video they pick up something or they got to look in it, in the video, I'm going to show it back here, them looking in it. Then I'm going to cut in with a B-roll of that little camera, of their eye like going up to it. Or if they pick something up, I might hook that camera to it so you feel it being picked up. There's a ton of stuff you can do with those, a ton. Again, I don't think there is a professional camera. There is, but there's not. There's not really a professional camera. Let me explain. A pro camera has weather sealing. dust proof. It's built a little better. It can handle the rigorous stuff. But if I shoot with that pro camera, does that make me a professional photographer? So you're saying when I pick up my phone, then I'm not a professional photographer? I am. I'm still a professional photographer. So how can a camera make you a professional? It can't. If anything, if you fake it till you make it, that camera will expose you quicker. I believe that if you have a piece of equipment, you need to use that equipment to its full potential. I shoot with old Sony, I shoot with Nikon D610 10s. I got a couple of those. An old Nikon D700, which I don't know why I hang on to that, but I love shooting with that. And my everyday workhorses are Sony A7R2s. They're old, but I have not found a reason I need something different. I don't. I don't need anything different. People have asked me in the past, why don't you upgrade to what is it now? The Sony R5? 4 or 5? I don't even know. Believe it or not, I don't keep up with that much tech. But I thought about it. Those newer Sonys have 61 megapixels. I have 42. The only time a megapixel means anything to me is in post-production. Makes it a lot easier. But I always look at it like this. I have my camera. I make this much money. If I buy that camera, how much more money am I going to make? None. I'm going to make the same amount. I'm capped. I can't. I get paid at the top end. It's not going to give me any more than I need. So in other words, most of what I do is up here. Creativity. My vision. What I see. How I interpret stuff. Interpret. How I see things. Make people see what I see. That newer camera, or even a Fuji 100 megapixel, isn't going to make me any more money because I have that. Now, if I was in architecture, photography, or something different that called for that camera, landscape photography. I got friends that make money as landscape photographers. Every one of them they produce books. So they travel, they take pictures, and they make books about where they've been. A lot of these pictures end up in travel guides, different things like that. I would have as many megapixels as I could get. Because when you're taking a landscape, a meadow, a mountain, again, can I do it with my camera? Of course I can. But in post, if I have 100 megapixels, it's going to be real easy for me. Real easy. I can crop stuff out, move it around. You know what I'm saying? I can zoom in a little bit. That's it. Work with what you have. Have fun with what you have. This is behind the sounds, behind the shot, behind the whatever Monday you want to call it. I call it behind the sounds. I'm Big Bobby, but you, my friend, can call me the Tingle Junkie. I hope I gave you some relaxing moments here. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, if you like what I'm doing here, buy me a coffee. Better yet, I want you to become a member. And under no circumstances, none, do not subscribe. I have way too many subscribers. Don't subscribe. Did he just say not subscribe? But anyways, appreciate you guys coming here. And I'm going to put over here. I'm going to put Moonlight Cottage. You guys got to check this lady out. She's bad to the bone. Love you. Bye.